God, thank you. So that is a big. Oh my God. Okay, Shaun, this House of Life and Death thing that you saw it has its work cut out for it for there to be anything other but a cinema cinema win this week. So what did you see this on?
Okay, well this was I've been watching those like I did Invincible.
So so in the last 2 weeks you had a Russian World War II movie and an Estonian World War II movie.
Okay, well this is
which Eastern European country are we going to today?
Well, it's not European. This is a Chinese film. A Chinese film.
So, even further east.
Yeah, this is a Chinese film, and it's shot in black and white, and it is about Nanking, where there was this was a really, really horrible place in the war. It was called the Rape of Nanking, really. So basically,
now that I've heard of.
Yeah. So the Rape of Nanking. So basically, it starts off. There's a big battle between the Japanese and the Chinese in this city, and anyway, the Japanese gradually take it over, and you've got they say find any Chinese soldiers, we're going to kill them and that. But there's this international mission with a German who's he's a Nazi. He's got the German badge and all that, but this is almost like should we say a Chinese Schindler's List.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah. So so basically there's this compound and he takes in a lot of, but the Japanese, that they've got all the Chinese soldiers, and obviously they execute them at certain places, they take them out. It's quite brutal. And there's sorry, I just messaged there. There's the Japanese thing, he goes in there and the Nazis guys saying, look, this is a compound, all that. And he says, well, you've got to give up 200 women otherwise we're going to come in and take them anyway. So,
oh wow.
So they have this. So he says, I can't do nothing. They have to take these 200. So they get some volunteers, obviously, and the volunteers have to go. And then there's a lot of sort of subplots and things. And then he gets a recall from Germany, and he says, I've been called back, because he's making trouble for the Japanese, and the Japanese aren't. And they obviously want to get in the compound too, because they're still Chinese soldiers. And so these women are used as comfort women, and they obviously die. So
it's just that phrase. That phrase
there's nothing comforting about that phrase.
That phrase.
What is really interesting what was really, really interesting in this film, and I'm surprised because it's a Chinese film, there are some Japanese people with conscience. Hence, that's where this city of love and a city of life and death comes, because this Japanese soldier, he goes to one of these Chinese ladies, one of these comfort women, and he really, really likes her, and he tries to help her, and he's got a real and he sees all this horrible stuff going on, and it's just there's nothing he can do, really. There's nothing he can do. But it's one of the few times when you say it was sort of, this movie was saying, the Japanese were cruel, horrible, nasty in the Second World War. Obviously not now, but there still were some with consciousness that did. They weren't all. There were people that were like, oh my God, what's going on here? So it's pretty brutal in places. After this, I sort of looked up online and I researched in that, and there's basically shots of Nanking. There's one bit where they've got a cart full of dead people. Sounds morbid, doesn't it? And there's an actual. It's actually like a shot from. There's an actual shot. It's like shot for shot.
Like a picture,
yeah, like a picture with shoot firing squads and So I mean, I thought it was terrifically made. It was really, really well made. I think this. I've seen another film by the director of this. It was called The Assembly, and basically it's in the Korean War.
Yeah.
And they go into North Korea, and it's quite funny. They go past some Americans, and the bloke says, obviously subtitle says, try and talk Korean, and they wave. They're Chinese, but they wave at the Americans. Americans sort of wave back. But anyway, so basically it's just like a Schindler's List but it's quite brutal in places.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, really interesting. It was almost like almost documentary. It wasn't, but it was almost documentary.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit like the Battle of Algiers. So So yeah, it was a top movie. It was a really, really good movie. I've seen a lot of others as well. I've seen.
So
I've
so
seen
how
the
many
whole framework.
stars? How many stars for City of Life and Death get?
4 star.
4 star for City of Life and Death.
Yeah.
So but this it sounds
Interesting.
like